Wholesaling real estate is the perfect way to make an active income for real estate investors in Michigan. The process involves finding discounted properties, getting them under contract, and then selling those contracts to an end buyer, typically a fix and flipper, at a higher price. Now in this video, I'm going to cover how to wholesale real estate in Michigan, and I'm going to go into the strategies we've used to wholesale real estate over the last decade. And be sure to download our state-by-state guide on how to wholesale real estate in the description down below. So what is wholesaling real estate? Well, wholesaling is a strategy where an investor secures the rights to purchase a property and then sells those rights to another buyer for a profit. And the most common method used to sell the contract rights is called the assignment of contract method. Now here's an example of how it works. Let's say you find a property that is distressed and you're able to get it under contract at $200,000. Now instead of going all the way through and buying this property yourself, you simply get it under contract at this price of $200,000 and you sell the contract for $210,000. Now what you make is the difference between the $200,000 price where you got the property under contract and the $210,000 price where your end buyer is buying it. So in this case, there's a $10,000 difference and you earn that as a $10,000 wholesale fee profit. And this was all without having to actually buy the property yourself. You just had to get the property under contract initially. So at a high level, this is exactly how wholesaling works in Michigan, but now let's dive into each step. Step number one for wholesaling real estate in Michigan is picking your real estate market. And what we recommend to get started is to start where you're actually located in Michigan. For example, if you're in Detroit, Ann Arbor, or Flint, then start in that city and county you're already living in. And we recommend this because you're already local to the area and can drive to a property to view it when you need to. You can also meet with real estate agents who are listing and selling great properties that you can wholesale in that area. Additionally, when you start in your own local market, you already know more than you think you know. For example, you probably know the good areas of the cities and the counties. You probably know the bad areas. You know where new developments are going on, and you know where there's a lot of homeless. And all of this knowledge can actually give you an advantage against others who don't know this info, because all these factors can affect the desirability and the price of the properties you're wholesaling. And this is very important for when you're wholesaling your deals for top dollar. So for step number one, we recommend picking your market, which is the city and county you're currently living in. Now, step number two is finding 3 to 5 quality local cash buyers in your area that you can actually wholesale deals to. Now, cash buyers are real estate investors, typically fix and flippers that are buying multiple deals per month. They want to work with wholesalers. So what we recommend is finding these cash buyers first so you can find out the exact deals that they want and where they like to buy these deals. For example, some cash buyers might only want to buy in Detroit, but if you're in Grand Rapids, then we want to find cash buyers that are actually buying in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And this is going to increase the likelihood of your success and allows you to get the highest wholesale fees possible because you're actually wholesaling deals to buyers that want to buy in that area. So how do you find these cash buyers? It's using our Google Ninja trick. So if you're located in Grand Rapids and you want to find cash buyers there, then what you need to do is go to Google and type in "sell my house fast Grand Rapids." And what will appear in the organic search results of Google are real estate investors who've invested into their website so that they rank organically on Google for those search terms. And this is because these investors, these cash buyers, they want to find motivated sellers and they want motivated sellers to come to them. So we pretend we're a motivated seller who's interested in selling our house. And what do? We find these actual cash buyers on the internet. Now, this is not something that takes hours. This is something that can actually take minutes or seconds to find these cash buyers in Michigan using this strategy. And if you want our free guide on how to best find cash buyers using the Google Ninja trick, just go to realestateskills.com/Google or go to the description where the link is located and I'll give you that guide. Now, this is just one of several ways to find cash buyers, so be sure to check out our YouTube channel if you want to learn even more ways. Step number 3 is finding deals on the MLS. The MLS is the multiple listing service, which is the database of all motivated seller leads on the market in your area. And it's an extremely powerful tool for finding properties that you can wholesale. And here's a strategy we love for finding great wholesale deals using the MLS. This is called the Day Zero strategy. Find all the new listings that came on the market in the last 24 hours. Let's say there's 50, and we look for the distressed properties in there. Now, there might only be 5 or 10, but we want to focus on those distressed properties and give them all of our attention. That's the Day Zero strategy. And why we love this is because these are brand new distressed properties that actually need to go all cash and need to go to investors. So why not you? And if you can be first to the punch, first to the game, first to make a call, potentially you can get this property under contract. And throughout the years, there have been dozens and dozens and dozens of properties we've been able to get under contract and wholesale and flip because we were the first ones to call on that deal using the Day Zero strategy. If you want free training on how to get the most out of the MLS when it comes to wholesaling, flipping, and investing in the cash flowing rentals, then check out realestateskills.com/watch, and I'll put that in the description down below so you can master the MLS. Step number 4 for wholesaling real estate in Michigan is now calling and talking to real estate agents. So once you use the strategy that I told you, you've identified a property and now you want to call that actual agent who's in charge of the deal. Now, the great thing about using the MLS is that typically the agent's contact information is on there. So their phone number, their email, and you can give them a call. And what you want to do is make sure that this property is actually distressed, make sure that this property is actually going to go to a real estate investor. Now, keep in mind, we only want to call on properties that are in a distressed condition, that need fixing up, where the seller is in a distressed situation. Now, sometimes when we're looking at a property and we look at the description, the agent may not tell us immediately that the seller is actually in a distressed situation. And this is why the phone call is so important, because a lot of the times this distressed situation can come up in the phone conversation rather than just looking at the listing. So we give the real estate agent a call, we figure out the seller's situation and what's their motivation to sell. And from this phone call, we can get additional information about the property. Like, what type of renovation does it need? And are there any special features on this particular house that aren't on the neighbor's house? And what does the agent think this house will sell for in its best possible condition? And on this phone call, we extract all of the necessary information we need. We actually call it the discovery call because we're discovering so much about this particular deal. And once you get all the information that you need, we can go to the next step, step 5, analyzing the deal. At this particular time, we want to determine a few numbers. The first important number is called the ARV, which stands for the after repair value. And this is the estimated future market value of the property after it's been repaired. The next important number to determine is the cost of repairs. This is the estimate of the amount that it takes to repair the property to its best possible condition. From there, we decide on our desired wholesale fee, which in a lot of cases, we like to put $10,000. And we feel that this is very fair for all the work that we put into the deal and to assign those contract rights. And sometimes you're going to make a lot more, and sometimes you may make less. Now, lastly, we're able to determine our purchase price. This is the actual offer price you'll be offering on the property and where you will actually get it under contract. Now, a common formula used in order to find your maximum allowable offer, which is also known as MAO, it's the maximum purchase price you can send to then get a deal under contract and wholesale it to a cash buyer. How we do this is we multiply your ARV by 70%. Let's say the ARV was $500,000. Multiply that by 70%. So now you have $350,000. Next, you subtract the estimated repair costs, which in this example is $40,000. That leaves us at $310,000. Then finally, subtract your desired wholesale fee, let's say $10,000, and now you have $300,000, and this is your maximum allowable offer price using that 70% rule. And if you get the property under contract at $300,000, you have a very high likelihood of making a $10,000 wholesale fee. Now, this is a very simple rule of thumb, and in our experience, if you want to have more competitive offers and you want to get your offers actually accepted, then we recommend using 80% of the ARV rather than 70%, because this will allow you to offer at a higher price while still remaining competitive and still having a very high likelihood of making at least $10,000 on the deal. Now, personally, what I love using for each and every wholesale and flip deal is our actual deal calculator. This has been refined over the last decade, and if you want to give it a spin for free, just go ahead and download it at realestateskills.com/calculator, and you can plug in all of your numbers to analyze your wholesale deals in Michigan and find the profit. Now, once you got all your numbers, you plugged it into the deal calculator, it's time for step number 6, which is submitting offers and negotiating. And this is arguably the most important step because you can't get a deal under contract unless you actually submit an offer. So in this step, it's vital to send professional offers, meaning you cannot send an offer that has a 60-day closing time frame when the seller only wants to close in 21 or 14 days. Additionally, we need to use contract terms that real estate agents are familiar using with real estate investors. For example, familiar terms in a clean professional offer would look like this: having an offer with minimal contingencies and a quicker closing time frame when it comes to wholesaling and real estate investing. So this can be a 7-day inspection contingency and a 14-day closing time frame. Now, a 14-day close is a pretty quick closing time frame that a lot of sellers who are in that distressed situation need so that they can quickly get out of the situation that they're in. Additionally, keep in mind that with most offers, an earnest money deposit, also known as the EMD, is very common. And this is a good faith deposit that you put down the property and is typically due within 72 hours of getting the property under contract. These deposits can range anywhere from $500 to $10,000, and it really just depends what's most common in your area and the price points of the properties that you're getting under contract. This deposit is typically refundable, but always be sure to check your contract to make sure. And if you want to check out the contracts that we use for wholesaling real estate, you can go ahead and download them at realestateskills.com/contracts, and I'll put that in the description down below too. Now, one of the most important pro tips I can give you about wholesaling real estate in Michigan and being able to do this without any risk is to always include that 7-day inspection contingency in your contract. What this is it gives you 7 days to inspect the property and 7 days to back out of the property due to the inspection. So you can back out due to the inspection, and if you can't find a buyer in that time frame, then you can back out during that time frame as well. So with a 14-day close or sooner, this will be very standard and will make your offers even more attractive when talking to real estate agents who represent sellers in distressed situations. But also keep in mind, you want to be accommodating. What I mean by that is if the seller actually needs a 28-day close, then make sure you have a 28-day close. Always be accommodating with your offers, with your terms, with your closing timeframes, and be that solutions provider. Now, what we also need to make our offers professional and credible is to always include a proof of funds on each and every offer that you send. This is documentation that says you have access to the funds needed in order to purchase the property. Now, there are many ways to get these from hard money lenders, private money lenders, but you need this proof of funds in order to be taken seriously and to actually get your offers accepted. If you want to download our free guide on how to get a proof of funds instantly and for free, go to realestateskills.com/proof, and I'll walk you through 2 different ways to get that proof of funds instantaneously. Now it's time for step 7, our favorite step, which is closing the deal and collecting your check. This is the final stage where you're going to assign your contract rights to the end buyer, and that end buyer is going to officially close on the deal by paying the seller for the property. You will assign the contract by letting the title and escrow companies know the assignment terms by sending them your assignment contract. And this contract will outline your wholesale fee for the transfer of property rights and is signed by all parties involved in order to solidify this assignment agreement. Once again, you can grab an example assignment contract by going to the description down below, and once the deal is officially closed, you will either be wired the wholesale fee to your bank account or get cut a check from the title and escrow company. And those are the 7 steps to wholesaling real estate successfully in Michigan. Now, all you got to do is take action. Now, lastly, from wholesaling over the past decade and being part of hundreds of real estate deals across the country, I've learned something very important. There's absolutely an abundance of opportunity out there, and anyone, including busy people with full-time jobs, can tap into it and start building the real estate business that they actually want. So I've created a free training that walks you through our MLS process, and you can just throw your email in and check it out if you'd like to for free at realestateskills.com/watch. And in the training, I'm going to cover number 1, the best place to find and flip wholesale deals. Number 2, how to get deals on demand 24/7, 365 with predictability from the MLS. And 3, how to close deals with buyers who are actually ecstatic to work with you and pay you large wholesale fees. Obviously, there's no obligation or risk to you watching the training, and chances are you'll walk away from it with some great ideas on how to improve your business and get started. Just like the wholesalers and flippers in our community are using the same methods to get deals around the clock. This is Alex Martinez with realestateskills.com. Happy wholesaling, and I'll see you soon.